I went in with high hopes when it comes to Running Man because Glenn Powell is one of my favorite actors and he's one of Hollywood's leading men. But unfortunately, I was let down. In fact, I want to run out of the theater because the Running Man just did not live up to the hype. And it lets me know more than ever we gotta be careful when we watch these trailers. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Lawrence and Party to talk about my review of the Running Man. And yes, like I said before, I wanted to run out the theater. I had great expectations for this movie right here, and it was not met. I felt like Glenn Powell, he did an okay job, right? But when it came to the overall story, it was lackluster, a complete disappointment. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as well. Don't forget to comment, like, and share. Let's talk about the Running Man. And now we know this right here about the Running Man. Set in the near future, The Running Man is the top rated show on a television show of a deadly competition where contestants must survive 30 days while being hunted by professional assassins. Despite trying to get money for his sick daughter, Ben Richards is eventually consumed by the game show. And when it comes to Ben, it's pretty basic, right? This movie, it kind of reminded me of Hunger Games meets Squid Games, right? Because we know Ben is, well, we know that Ben's daughter is sick, right? And what would you do if your daughter was sick? You try and feed your family. You see a game show that could potentially help you out, right? That's what he does. He decides to take a dance with the devil, unfortunately, and it does not pay off. Now, the action in this right here, it was okay. I did enjoy the action, but like I said before, the overall storyline, it could have been better. There were some missing pieces here and there. You could tell where the movie was truly not fully fleshed out the way it should have been. Another reason why this movie caught my attention because of Josh Brolin. I saw that he was in this right here. Jamie Lawson. And of course, my boy, the one and only, I had to support my boy, Daniel Ezra from All American. Had to show him some love. Had to check it out for him as well. So when it comes to this movie right here, I get what they was trying to do when we talk about how the media can lie. How we're talking about weapons of mass destruction, how we're talking about the political aspect, right? And all that right there, which is kind of relevant to today's time, right? And not to mention, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had a movie literally just like this. This was his movie back in the day. But when it comes to Hollywood, they love to do remakes. They love to do reimaginations. But this one right here, it just did not stick the landing for me. There was plot holes everywhere, up and down, but the script, right? And I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised because I just went in. I expected more when I saw this trailer. I was like, oh God, this is going to be incredible. And it was a letdown, unfortunately. And why on earth did it take so long to build up the action part of this movie right here? It took a very long time to get to the action. And that's why I mentioned earlier about the trailers, right? The trailers, when they cut it, they make you seem like it's going to be action packed, boom, boom, bam. And that didn't happen until late. Well, kind of like in the middle part of the film. And then when we got to the third final act, that's when all the action wanted to come in. But by then, you was already kind of bored out your mind. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate Coleman Domingo as well. I forgot to mention him. He was kind of like the television ringleader, when it came to him hosting this type of game show, right? And he was in it for himself, and I appreciate him. He was one of my favorite actors. He was one of the favorite parts of this movie. I mean, it's Coleman Domingo. He's always going to bring it, right? But overall, the movie, it was just okay. It was okay. It just didn't land and stick. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I was unfortunately let down. Like the script, like I said earlier, lackluster. Glenn Powell, he's still, my personal opinion, he's still one of Hollywood's leading man. But every leading man does have a project that failed. And I think that this may have been the project for him that may have failed on his resume. Because when I think about even the promotion, right? I didn't see much promo for this movie right here. Like I didn't see him on all the late night talk shows all over the Hollywood TV shows where they talk about like E at night, Access Hollywood. I didn't really see him on those shows right there. So I'm like, where was the promotion? Where was the marketing at for this right here? So again, if it wasn't for social media, I probably wouldn't even known about that it was coming out today. But Glenn Powell, you're still okay in my book. I just think this was just a fumbled movie, unfortunately. But those are my thoughts about The Running Man. I mean, if I had to give this a movie, if I had to rate this right here, I'm probably gonna say, it's 7.5. It was really 7.5. It could have been better. You know, if they would have given me some action earlier, I would have been excited. And I get that he was trying to be, a tough guy. He just wasn't convincing to me as his character being like this macho man. I just really didn't see it. But for me, 7.5. Let me know down in the comments if you want to go see The Running Man or if you're thinking about it. Yeah, yeah. It was okay, y'all. It was okay. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.